Welcome back to the channel, guys. Chili Games here. Today we're in the Bismarck, a ship that I have not been wanting to play ever since the KMS carriers have come out. I have seen personally what they can do to this ship and other German ships like the Tirpitz and Odin. And for the last part of 2 weeks, I've just been like, you know what? I'm not going to force myself down that road because I figured I would get into a carrier match with a Parseval and it wouldn't be a fun time. For some reason, we get lucky, and it's not a carrier match, so we can attempt to have some fun. Spawning in the middle here on Sleeping Giant, not my favorite spawn. I like to be on the flank. I like to try to get around to at least the left side of this map, and we're actually using a full accuracy build. We're using Hyde, Aelshonhorst, and Cunningham, as well as the Alidad perk, which will increase our pin angles, and it actually makes Bismarck AP pretty ridiculous at pinning things at certain angles, and we are going to be getting a fair share of our citadels in this match. However, things are already looking a little bit iffy. The biggest thing that I was worried about, honestly, is Alabama, and he's actually over there, so we don't have to really worry about him. However, we do have some pretty stiff competition on the enemy team. We have a Wichita, we have Suzuyas, which, if left unchecked and at range, they can do a pretty good job of actually burning you down in a battleship. And realize that our spawn isn't moving. Our destroyer, who is our only saving grace in terms of spotting, is going for the middle cap. So that's going to be a little iffy. In my opinion, if you spawn on this side, B is kind of a death trap. You're better off trying to spot from the flank, and here I'm trying to ping B as best as I can. Super annoying. I don't know how that's not been fixed yet, but it's very annoying when you're trying to ping an objective and you just can't because it's locking on to the ships behind it or whatever. But I was doing that because our DD actually went all the way out there, and if he's going to go towards B, you might as well capture it while you're at it. And I think he's going to go in there now. Keeping our eyes on the swivel here, we are the only target here, so we have to be ready to somewhat disengage. We're not quite to the place that I want to be at, but we're getting there. Essentially what I want to do is, if all their targets bow in, I want to be on this angle to at least get some sort of broadsides here. Looking at the Suzuya, he actually goes undetected here, but this Suzuya actually has been beached, and we take our shot with the full accuracy build. Bismarck is still pretty wonky with the full accuracy build, but that was a pretty chunky 35,000 damage on that first shot. All AP damage, so he's not going to be able to heal basically any of it. I think he gets to heal a little bit up, but as you can see, the fire that these couple cruisers are able to lay down is going to be kind of intense, and that's the reason why you see me still angled out a little bit. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things for people to understand, is that yes, you're pretty tanky in Bismarck, but the only play in your playbook shouldn't be push forward. I know the Suzuki is almost dead. If I can get a kill on him, that will significantly decrease the amount of fires that I would take this game. So we're trying to play it a little bit slow. They have a full team left. We only get 2 over penetrations through his bow. I'm not sure how we didn't get any pins there, because if we did pin him for 3,000, 4,000 damage, I probably would have killed him there. So a little bit unfortunate there. We're a little bit wary, but instead of keeping our position, I want to push in a little bit further. I think we're really close to breaking through here, and we know that Suzuya's out in front, so there he is. If we can kill these 2 guys, it's going to make our life a lot easier. I'm trying to ping him because he's super low health, and angling away again just because I don't want to take significant fire damage this early on into the game, especially with a Wichita. I already know how much of a pest Wichita can be, and if played correctly, Bismarck can not do a single thing to Wichita, and he would just burn me down the entire time. So knowing what I've been able to do in Wichita, assuming that that Wichita player is a good player, I'm not going to push into that, and if I pushed in too far, their battleships in that clump over there would probably take me as their primary target, and it wouldn't really end up too well. So, a little bit of a disclaimer. I do chime in at the end of this game because it ends up being very, very close for almost no reason, and it almost pissed me off because this is a pretty good game in the Bismarck, and I was just like, I will be damned if we let this one turn into a loss. So, waiting to get all of our guns trained on the Wichita. I have a broadside. I want to make the most of this opportunity because he does not know I'm here. So I didn't want to spoil my position. We actually get a Citadel. What kind of luck is that? We actually Citadel of Wichita. Pretty decent chunk. Was hoping for more, maybe a little bit, but Citadeling a Wichita at any point in time is honestly a massive achievement in my book, so we'll take it. Waiting for the Vladivostok, actually. I could have taken that shot, but Wichita at that range is so wiggly. I don't think I would have gotten a better shot. So Vladivostok is actually flat broadside to us. So that's why I held my fire, because I figured he would still be in the position that he's in. Actually hit him for a Citadel as well. Pretty good chunk there. About 30% of his health gone in one salvo. So at this range with Bismarck's guns, I'll take it. So the accuracy build is really showing its colors here. And you're going to see me here try to take advantage of this island to go dark so he doesn't get a follow-up shot. And we're going to turn our guns to the right side. We pick up another Citadel. These pin angles are definitely helping. And Bismarck has excellent penetration with its guns. Even though they're only 380s, 381s, shell velocity helps these guns penetrate quite far out. So, and Vladivostok's very, very weakly armored, just like the rest of the Russian battleships on their side. So if you show broadside, it is not a fun time in those ships, even when Bismarck is able to punish you. See the Bismarck pushing out here, and this Bismarck is going to plague us for the rest of the game with us not being able to kill him. He is probably under 1,000 health there, but as you see his health start to tick up, we know that he is actually under will to rebuild. So that is going to really suck for the next, until this game ends. And you will see it being abused this entire time. Taking our shots against the Wichita. He is a little bit too close. We actually catch him in a turn. And like most salvos against the Wichita, nothing but overpins, and he skates away. We even overpin on him turning out there. I see the Vladivostok poking out a little bit too far. So at this point in time, I want to use my first heal because I assume I'm going to be taking some pretty significant damage in the next couple of minutes. So I want to get that fourth heal ready to go as soon as possible. Take a shot against the Vladivostok. Could have been a little bit better, but we hit him for 20,000. Again, it's our third Citadel. That could have been much better. I was really hoping to kill him there. The Scharnhorst is pushing up a little bit too aggressively. And if you would notice, our secondary started shooting. Our secondary range without a secondary build is 7.9 kilometers, which still puts to shame pretty much every other battleship at tier 7. Aside from the Massachusetts, because Wargaming for some reason is reluctant from giving battleships any sort of decent secondary armament. I don't know why. Tier 4, 5, and 6 battleships have the same secondary range as most tier 7s, but that is just the game that we play. So, ended up wasting about half of that consumable there with the secondary consumable, unfortunately. We can't sit at other Scharnhorst, so we aim for his upper belt, and we do get a pretty nice chunk on him, about 17k. I'm trying to angle away a little bit, but he does tag us back there a little bit too much damage on that salvo in my opinion. I was keeping an eye on how far away I was from that guy, and the torps do run out, so lucky us. They were getting a little bit close, and I was like, huh, is he running Scharnhorst? Because Scharnhorst actually has a skill that increases the torpedo range. If he was running that, he would have had about 6.6 kilometers, and those torps probably would have hit us and ended the game. trying to take a shot against the Vladivostok, but there is just so much meat over there with that Bismarck, we actually don't get to do it. I wanted to kill the Vladivostok because it's an easier shot for my AP to devastate, but we ended up just chunking the Bismarck as well. Still a pretty decent hit. Wichita is, honestly, Wichita should be in a pretty uncomfortable place, but Wichita's armor is so annoyingly efficient. We're waiting for him to turn just a wee bit broadside, and with our increased pin angles, nothing but bounces and overpins, which is absolutely fantastic. That's exactly what we wanted to see. We obviously didn't want to punish the broadside cruiser at 5 kilometers that can pretty much battle tank us the entire time. And it's going to get real close. He does it again. We have the pin angles to actually make this shot count. He's actually angling in towards them. Again, 3 overpins, 1 overpin. Not upset about it at all. It's not like he should be dead or anything. It's not angry in the slightest, but we are pretty low on health. And it was at this point in time that I realized that, oh, like, I pushed into this thinking that my spawn that has been sitting in the spawn the entire time would have done something. And again, we actually citadel him with 2 pins and 2 ricochets, so if we would have gotten just maybe 1 extra penetration, that Wichita would have been dead, and we would have probably stayed alive a little bit longer. Creeping over the 200,000 damage mark, I'm going for the Vladivostok again. It was just too frustrating not to. We get lit on fire again, and unfortunately do not get anything. Those guys are hugging each other so close. There's really nothing we can do. I'm really hoping we get an extra shot on this Wichita. I think we can definitely finish him here. Guns are loaded, only 3 of them. He is turning out though, but we have to take a shot because I assumed that I was going to die there, so we get a little bit anxious there. That shot, only get 1 pin. Wichita has like 2 HP, and if you realize things are not really going well over on the other side, and we're down to 300 health, we have a permanent fire, and we're dead. So the Wichita obviously outplayed us. He is just built or in-game designed better, and it was at this point in time I was like, you know what, there is no way we should lose this game, until I realized that my team is saying shoot the Bismarck, the guy that has will to rebuild. And if you don't know, will to rebuild can almost effectively counter 2 permanent fires, which is what this guy has. You will lose a slight amount of HP on a double fire if you have will to rebuild, but you will definitely live through the full duration of it, and you'll be fine. And as long as that Vladivostok is still there, who doesn't have will to rebuild, this is just an absolute disaster. And I think I actually find my mic, I plug it in here, and I'm just like, guys, please, dear God, shoot the Vladivostok, because if we shoot the Vladivostok, Bismarck's dead. He can't heal if he doesn't have his will to rebuild partner. And again, we're still shooting the Bismarck. And it was at this point in time, I think, is where I get my mic. So I'll let that roll. Dudes, shoot the Vladivostok. The Bismarck has will to rebuild. Shoot the Vladivostok. Oh my lord. Oh man. Shoot the Vladivostok. Please, God Almighty, shoot the Vladivostok. And I think that's why I take it out. And thank God the Suzuya is actually paying attention, because he tries to go for it. Bismarck's trying to shield him. It was very late. This game was actually last night. I'm not sure when this is going to go live, but it was very late, and I was like, man, it's a great game. We finally killed the Vladivostok. Super close on points. I chime back in there. Bismarck should be dead now, because if we would have lost the Ismail, we definitely would have lost, because they have the cap advantage, and the Vladivostok would have killed the Ismail in an extra shot. So thank the Lord. We will win on points, I assume, as long as the Bismarck goes down. Ismail barely skates away, and the time is actually about to run out. So we have about 10 seconds left. Bismarck is out of options here. He's getting shelled by the Suzuya. He's going to crossfire with the Azuma. The Ismail actually doesn't kill him, and he actually gets to live out of this game. Oh boy. Man. What a crazy game. And I think my mic is actually still plugged in. I just heard myself through it. There we go. I unplugged it. Anyways, 214,000 damage, 8 citadels, 3,200 base XP. Would have loved to kill the Wichita because we could have stayed in action a little bit longer. And probably could have easily deleted the Vladivostok and the Bismarck. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the game. Hope y'all enjoyed. And let me know in the comments if you liked it or not. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.